No pun intended, this past summer, I really got hooked on fly fishing. And I really just want to stay fishing, just all the time, 24/7. That's what I always think about. Being that it's the middle of January now, lakes are freezing over, the creeks are freezing over. Ice fishing is my only option right now, and I'm actually very excited for it. I'm gonna be packing up my sled today. I'm gonna be going through all my gear. I'm gonna be showing you guys what I'm bringing on all my ice fishing trips for the foreseeable future, because I really don't need any more gear. I kind of have everything I need. I know, who says that? Don't tell my wife, please. And yeah, so let's just get into the video, start packing it up. The first item that I got here is kind of like the main ticket. This is the meat and potatoes of the sled. This is going to be carrying 80% of my gear. This has all my rods in it. This has all my jigs in it. Let's open her up and go through. Nice 4 clips, keeps it nice and closed, nice and safe. On this side, I got all my rods, all my reels, and on this side, I got all the miscellaneous random gear that you would keep in a 5-gallon pail if you were to have another 5-gallon pail, which my goal for right now is to limit myself to 1 5-gallon pail, because I see my father-in-law's sled. His sled's like double the size of mine. He's carrying so much stuff around. He's got like 2 or 3 5-gallon pails. I don't want to deal with that. I want a light, easy setup, get to fishing right away. Rods and reels on this side. I got all my hardware over here. I have it broken down to this is regular jigs. So yeah, just regular basic ice fishing jigs. That's what I got in here. This is hardware, hooks, sinkers, stuff like that. And then this is gonna be the fun one this year. So this is all the UV stuff. This is all the stuff that'll glow under UV light. So instead of having another rod in here, one thing to keep my light bar safe for my shack is I put it in this case, because these things are freaking expensive and it's just a wire, and I don't want that wire to get frayed or cut or damaged or anything. So this, I'll show you how this works later. We'll save that over there. All my clips for it. So this is what I clip to the top of my shack and stuff with. I got a couple rod holders, of course, to put in the 5-gallon pail, so then we can, when we gotta go outside and take a pee, we can put our rods in the rod holders. Another clip, just a light, so I can stand up a light, put the light outside when we're packing up at night, packing up in the morning, or going out in the morning, we need light to see and all that. Headlamp, in case you need a headlamp. And then this is a bunch of tie-down screws for my shack. So this, when you set the shack up, it's kind of like a tent on the ice. That's exactly what it is a tent on the ice. Has a bunch of holes on the outside. You take these, drill it in, then when the wind blows, your shack doesn't blow away. And that is what is on the inside of the Shields case here. All right, so we want that to be the base layer of the sled, because it's the heaviest, it's the biggest, it's nice and wide, you can stack stuff on top of it, it's not gonna get damaged, everything inside is gonna be protected. Next, we have this nice open space here that's about 6 inches long that we can tuck something down in there. And what better to tuck down in there than a Ozark Trail mesh camping chair. It fits perfectly, ain't going nowhere. Now that we got the chair in there, the base layer of the sled is complete. And basically it's just a big game of Jenga, and we're just gonna be stacking stuff on top of there and we're gonna tie it down. All right, so next on the list, this big old black bag is my 2-man pop-up shack. I'll definitely be showing that in a future video, setting it up, stuff like that. This thing so far, I've set it up twice now, and it is awesome. Keeps you out of the wind, keeps you nice and warm when you got the heater running. I couldn't be happier with a shack. and it was super cheap. I got it for like $100. It was awesome. All right, so that's on there now. And the next thing that's going in here, of course, I gotta have this. If you're an ice fisherman, I'm sure you have one of these. It's a buddy heater. It's I got this for Christmas from my in-laws. Thank you very much. It's just a single tank heater. I got the one tank on the side, and then I got the 2 tanks in the bag, so you can stay warm for a very, very long time. So that I'm gonna tuck right in. I might actually turn it because of the way it's leaning. Put it in there like that. So yeah, that ain't going nowhere. All right, next thing I'm gonna slip in there, ice scoop, of course. I don't wanna put it in the 5-gallon pail because I can't really fit it in my 5-gallon pail, and it kind of fits perfectly right there on the mesh chair like that. Next thing that's gonna go in is my battery bank. I got this for free actually because I bought the Ice Shack. Sweet Fleet Farm deal my brother-in-law pointed out. So yeah, this thing's awesome because it's got lights on it. It's got, what are these called? Oh yeah, binding posts. So this is what I will clip my light bar to. It's got little alligator clips that clamp on right there, turn it on and off. It's got a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, and then it's got a plug with 2 USB ports, which is really cool. So I'm definitely gonna be using this a lot when I'm fishing, definitely gonna be using it a lot when I'm camping, gonna be using it in the back of the truck when I go camping in the truck, lights, heat source, stuff like that, charge phones. And I think it's got 10 amp hours on the battery, so that thing is gonna last quite a while. And that fits perfectly right in there. The next thing that I'm gonna put in there, of course, I'm gonna be bringing a tripod because if I'm fishing, you know I'm making content and recording it probably. So I'm gonna definitely have a tripod on me with a phone mount. Next is this Celsius 5-gallon bucket seat. So this sits right on top of an open 5-gallon bucket. You can sit right on this. If you're wondering why I'm bringing this and my mesh chair, is because if I bring someone with, like this weekend, I'm gonna be going ice fishing with my wife. She'll get the mesh chair, of course. I'll be sitting on this, which is totally fine. I bought this originally to sit. I had a bonus mesh chair in the garage. Bait puck, I always toss the bait puck just on the outside like that. Just toss it in there because when you pack the sled up and you put it in there, you need to be able to just get the bait puck right away so then you can go and put your waxies in it or red spikes or whatever you're using for bait that day. This I'm actually gonna tuck under the buddy heater right there to kind of give it a little cushion, give it a little protection. Because right here, actually what I'm going to do is I'm gonna flip the script. We're gonna put this over here like that. Put the buddy heater like this, because then it's on a flat surface. Put this in that under there so that doesn't go anywhere. Because then the next part is probably one of the most important parts, the infamous 5-gallon pail. Pro tip for a 5-gallon pail is to always put a carabiner on the handle of your 5-gallon pail because you'll never know when you need a carabiner and you need to hang something up in the shack or anything. But it's not so much about the 5-gallon pail, it's about what's on the inside of the 5-gallon pail. One thing that you absolutely have to have when you're ice fishing is sonar. You need to be able to see down below the water. You need to be able to see if you're marking fish. You need to be able to see if there's stuff actually down there. Otherwise, you're kind of just blindly jigging or just waiting and sitting there and there could be no fish and you're just basically wasting your time. So of course, got a hummingbird in there. I bought this one off my wife's uncle. He had a bunch. He just bought a really fancy new one with like the big screen and stuff. It's really cool. So I got that. That thing's awesome. And then what that is sitting on top of is I got a Predator Pro tip up. And then I got 2 of these Igloo tip ups that are bright orange. So I got 3 tip ups ready to go. So I can, if I just want to tip up fish instead of jigging, I can set up another tip up, or we got tip ups for both of us. I got enough poles for both of us to go. And just like that, I'm ready to go fishing. One thing that's really cool about my new sled is I left it overnight at my father-in-law's, and of course, being the handyman that he is, he installed these like hook things on the side. There's like a reinforced bar under here that they're bolted to, so they're not just bolted to the plastic and ripping on the plastic. But they're awesome because instead of trying to put stuff on slippery plastic and have it sliding everywhere, I can just clip this right there, pull her over, and now my stuff's secure. And just like that, we're ready to go ice fishing. So stay tuned for the next video, because of course the next video is going to be me ice fishing. And with that being said, have a good day.